Say you think of something from the deep past, something painful, the body contracts, there's all these feelings, there's thoughts, the mind may start worrying, generating thoughts. This is what the self is made out of. Feeling, thoughts, perception, heaps. Really. If you look for a self beyond that, it's not there. And that's freedom. It feels like freedom when you experience it. Thisness. That's what they mean by thisness. Just this. Say you have a thought, a feeling from the deep past. The body contracts, feelings, thoughts. When you don't see through the self, that feels big. It's a big feeling. And there is a losing in that feeling. This is the dance of Maya. Completely lost in it. But when you see through the self, it's just what it is. Contraction, feeling, thought. Thisness. Just this. No worlds are brought forth. I've been sitting in thisness a lot lately. There's been a shift. There's a book I want to recommend everybody called The Finders by Jeffrey Martin. Martin interviewed hundreds of people who have awakened or are on the awakening spectrum and did long-form interviews with them. And it's very illuminating. One interesting aspect is he divides the awakening spectrum into locations. Location 1 may be in the Location 1 is kind of awakening. Location 2 is non-duality. Location 3, unity consciousness. Location 4, anatta, no self. Very similar to Angelo DeLullo's kind of mapping. A lot of people don't like maps. I don't mind them. And as long as they're not held on to too tightly. But there's also another distinction he makes between layers and locations. And layers kind of correspond to locations in the sense that, say, the discursive mind is still present across the locations, but it's more present in location 1. And by the time you're in anatta, the discursive mind has calmed down completely. And in some places has completely stopped. But even location 1, you might have access to layer 4, which is thisness. Just this. And this is what non-duality speakers speak of when they say, I'm pretty sure this is what they're speaking of, when they say, don't practice, you don't need to practice, because it's always available. Thisness, it's kind of more primitive brain circuits. This, just raw experience, and it's always available. But that's kind of disingenuous, because there is a process through, let's say, relative time that happens where there's a collapsing of the different layers as far as how much time is spent in them, how much they are resorted to across locations. And this is actually a change in the brain, in the physiology, thus the whole Kundalini thing, the process that unfolds, the energetic release that happens, that can probably only happen through relative time.